Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party, the only Middle-earth TTRPG that will finally answer the question, why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor? And we are one step closer to answering that question. Joining me today are my internet friends. Say hi, internet friends.
Hello.
Hi.
Are you all ready to get started?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
All right, well, we've got some announcements to get through beforehand, so let's hang on. First, we need to thank our sponsor. A very special thanks to Free League Publishing for sponsoring this stream. Free League provided us with advanced copies, even though it is currently out now, of their TTRPG, The One Ring, that is set in Middle-earth so that we could play a more fleshed out version of the world. If you would like to order your own copy of The One Ring, whether it is the bundle, the starter set, the core rulebook, the dice, the maps, just go to freeleaguepublishing.com. Thank you to my players for yet again being the fantastic models that they are. If anybody would like to hire us as actual models, hit us up. We're free. I'm not busy today.
Let's do this.
Speaking of things that you can buy, we are happy to announce that the Unpredicted Party now has merchandise. The thing you see up on the right-hand side of the screen is the design. It features the elves, Halowith and Tanel, and Beery with their weaponry. Stay tuned eventually for I, for one, will gladly welcome our bird overlords, which may or may not be out by the time we are recording this. If it is, I'll make sure to put an announcement right now. And hopefully you've all been very happy to realize that it's out, who knows. At the 1 hour mark, we are going to be taking a quick 5-minute break for the folks on the YouTube live stream and on the YouTube live. For those watching back when it's not live, just click ahead for 5 minutes. I won't tell anybody or the people that run the ads on this video. And we also have a few other people to thank. The artwork for this stream is done by the incredible Sarah M. Shunky. She goes by @SarahM.Shunky on Instagram. The battle maps, which we likely won't have today, are done by Little Wit the Cartographer. You can find his services on Facebook. The music has been remarkably crafted by TikTok's own Cullen Vance. You can stream all of his music wherever music is streamed, including cullenvancecreative.com, where you can directly support his stuff. He's also on Bandcamp, where you can buy his stuff. I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint and say that I just commissioned him to make a new song for a thing that I think is going to happen, and I cannot wait for you all to hear it. So,
guys, this is not good news.
No, it's terrible news.
This is bad.
Oh, no.
Terrible news for all of you. Great news for me and the viewers.
It's all of our funeral songs.
Oh my god!
All of our characters.
I'd cry.
Accompanied with a eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything like when Gandalf falls down into the pit, that the second that song plays, it's just waterworks.
Donna's commissioned Enya as well.
Oh my god! If we had Enya, sorry.
I have not purchased Enya's music. I'm so sorry. We can't afford that kind of sponsorship. I'm sorry. Very special thank you to my wife, Nat. She goes by Nat20Wife online. Honey, you are the reason that this stream is as organized as it is. Thank you so much. Announcements and thank yous out of the way. Are we ready to go ahead and get started?
Let's play.
Let's go.
Let's go. So the last time I did a recap, it went on for about 3 minutes, so I've completely rewritten it to make sure that it's quicker. Here is a recap of what has happened so far. The Fellowship of the Ring is dead. They tried to take the Eagles to Mordor. The Eagle got tempted by the ring, took the ring, killed the Fellowship, overthrew Sauron, and now rules Mordor for himself. Meanwhile, Elrond got possessed by his own elven ring because Gwaihir knew about the ring and took control of his body. The party was amazingly able to save him by cutting off his arm and stopping the possession. Halowith cut off his arm. Arwen, his daughter, distraught at the loss of Aragorn, has fled west. Turns out, she's pregnant. Her brothers went after her. Gandalf's body got reanimated as the party took the bodies back to Rivendell. The party dispatched him very quickly. Halowith cut off his arm. The players then realized that Galadriel was the other carrier of the Elven Ring, so Lothlorien is probably either gone or in danger or both. While waiting word for the scouts to get back, what lies over the Misty Mountains, the group decided to travel to Angmar to see if there was any trouble. There was. That was when they ran into the second in command of the Dunedain, Halbarad, who had been captured by Mordor and still hasn't admitted it to anybody. Together, the four of you fought off the steward of Angmar, Mordred, who turned out to be the captured last king of Gondor for nearly 1,000 years ago. His name was Earnor. None of you cared except for Zach. Zach, you get bonus points for me on that one. I realize your characters wouldn't care, but it was a nice touch anyway. You also discovered that inside a giant crystal in Angmar were the two blue wizards, Alatar and Palando. They are alive. You delivered the heartbreaking news to the wizards and Halbarad that everybody, including Aragorn and Gandalf, and the rest of the Fellowship had sadly passed away. You traveled back to Rivendell with the Blue Wizards and Halbarad to recoup and gather your forces. Meantime, the scouts have come back and the party learned what had been going on in the wide world. In Rohan, Theoden, and Eomer are both dead. Who killed who, we don't know, but Grima is currently ruling, and he is engaged to marry Eowyn. In Erebor, there are Nazgûl circling around the mountain, but nothing so far. Mirkwood being xenophobic as usual and says you're on your own. Gondor says the attacks have ceased, but they fear that the enemy is regrouping. That's a reference to the movies. In Lothlorien, you received two messages. One from Haldir saying that some of the forest had been destroyed, and another which was just a drawing of an eagle's talon written in blood. The elves realize that they need to get back to their home as fast as humanly possible and not want to abandon his friends. Beery the dwarf is coming along for the ride, and that is everything you missed on the Unpredicted Party, episodes 1 through 7.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Lovely
Speed
stuff.
Speed running the
Very
recap.
impressive.
Yeah.
I've been editing these and I'm just getting bored by my own recaps while I edit them. I'm like, oh, you're taking yourself way too seriously. So I'm going to cut the music and I'm just going to deliver it because at this point we're so far in, I can't recap everything,
No.
but the episodes are
only
2
gonna
weeks
get
apart.
worse.
Exactly.
It's only going to get worse.
As we get further in, it's like, all right, cool. Eagle's got the ring. You two are still alive. You're
Do it
kind
by
of hurt.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you all ready to get started?
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
go.
We pick up almost immediately where we left off as the three of you on horseback. Well, two of you on horseback, one of you in a cart behind a horse with your boar, travel out of Rivendell and head toward the Gladden Fields Mountain Pass. Now, you know from past experience that it will take you at least 2 days to get there. We will now make the rolls as you continue to make your way. Do you have any conditions for how you would like to travel? Do you only want to travel at night? Do you want to do it stealthily? Do you just want to go absolutely, balls to the walls and run as fast as possible? Push your horses to the limit? The choice is yours.
I feel like this is up to the elves to decide. Their sense of urgency is kind of their own. Beery's just kind of here for support.
I'm kind of wondering if we could do like a little mixture of both. Is as we get closer, we start to sort of stealth and make our presence less known.
I would say, Tanel, if you were interested in doing that, the first day you would be able to push on full speed ahead, no problem. As you approach the second day, you would probably get closer to where the mountains start to rise and you would need to follow the path and be a little bit more stealthy.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
That sounds
All right.
good to me.
Okay.
I like it.
Great. So I will ask you all to make your rolls as we continue through the journey. So first, I will need someone to make a travel roll, someone to make an awareness roll, and someone to make a scan roll. The choice is
Okay.
yours. Who wants to do what?
I'll do travel. That's just a single D12, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Let's do it.
I have 3 on awareness.
Oh,
If
nice.
you want to do, what does your scan look like?
I have 3 in scan and he's favored.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Haloweth got a 5 for travel.
Okay.
16. 9 plus 9 is 16.
9 plus 9 is 18.
18. Shit.
It's okay. It's okay. None of us are.
18.
Yeah. Okay. None of us are math.
I
I got a 21 on scan and it's a crit, baby.
All right. All right. Okay. So with that roll, you roll a total. Okay. You guys make excellent time as you make your way towards the Gladden Fields Mountain Pass. The road is relatively flat. You don't notice any orc parties or danger ahead of you, and you bed down for the evening. As you're bedding down for the evening, you're setting up the fires and getting ready. You're all sort of sitting around the fire. If there's anything you all would like to discuss, given everything that has happened, I want to give you this opportunity to discuss as characters everything that's going on and potentially plan ahead.
Halbeth is going to initially approach Biri. And he's going to sit down and he's going to just take out the dagger, which he was given by Halbarad, which he knows Biri obviously had a hand in with forging and helped with everything. And he just sort of mulls it over quite skillfully. He's got quite dexterous fingers and kind of flicks it between the fingers a bit. You know how this is a very weird and kind of tangent of a reference, but when Jack Sparrow does the coin,
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. He kind of is just flicking it between his fingers. And without looking at Biri, he just sort of stares ahead and says, "This is very skilled workmanship. You are a skilled craftsman. I applaud you and I'm impressed. This is a most gracious gift, which I know that you had a hand in. So thank you."
Beery currently kind of like sitting cross-legged in front of the fire as he kind of pokes out with a stick, but he's you hear the clanking of bottles as he's reaching into a sack, a bag, and he peeks up and he sits up after this compliment and just is kind of quiet. Was definitely the last thing he expected. Kind of glances over at it, kind of delicately dancing between your fingertips, and it suits you well. I mean, I feel like you're gonna need all the luck you need in defeating me in orcs. And he goes back to going through the bag.
Well, as it so happens, I have something for you.
Sits back up.
And he takes out the cutlery which he stole from episode 1.
Oh no!
He says, "I so very nearly forgot to pack this. In fact, I nearly forgot why I had it in the first place." He didn't, by the way. He just wants to make it seem more blasé than it actually is. And he just kind of hands it over, nods.
Well, it seems you've at least won this game. I didn't manage to get much of it, and it is very fine workmanship. It is. But,
Oh, we're doing props now, Max? Is that what we're doing?
Oh,
No,
we're gonna
don't
have
make me do
full-fledged
props.
swords soon.
For those
But,
listening on the podcast version, Max just pulled out a magnifying glass from off camera. It was
Yeah.
brilliant.
he's got like lenses you're able to flip down from like a headband.
Mhm.
Well, this is most gracious Sir Elf. Hal, I really appreciate it. And maybe who knows? Maybe I'll just might make you something from it.
Well,
Something a little bit new.
Something new.
Yeah, gee, I'm kicking around some ideas here and there,
I'm usually a stickler for tradition. I'm sometimes called, but I look forward to whatever work you may present. Thank you.
Very good. And he just shoves his head inside the bag, and he's now clinking and clanking inside.
Howard leaves him be. He kind of sits and he's going to meditate for a while. He is still very concerned about Lothlorien. So he's going to sit down.
It's so
Looks like
sweet.
As
away
everyone
from him.
starts settling, Tanella is going to sort of just put a hand on each of their shoulders and just say, "I'll take the first watch."
Halworth inclines his head.
Oh, thank you. From inside the bag.
Yes.
As you all are preparing to go to bed, there is a rustle from a small grove of trees that you see off to the side, and sensing a little bit of danger, you hear a voice coming from the trees. "Excuse me, I'm terribly sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. I couldn't help but overhear you all talking about yourselves. My name's Marvin. I don't mean any trouble. I'm just hiding because my appearance tends to scare people, if you follow me.
Tanel just in disbelief turns to both of them and then turns back towards the bush.
How are you getting a cold?
No, my voice is perfectly clear and songful.
No, this is my own voice, Master Dwarf. I do apologize. And Tanel, just to clarify, it's not a bush. It's like a grove of trees.
Oh, it's a grove of trees.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
geez.
this something is hiding in the thickets, and you kind of hear. I'm terribly sorry, and I promise, if you promise not to shoot me, I'll come out. You seem like decent folk. You just exchanged some gifts. I assume I didn't actually see what was going on. If it's all right, I'll come out now. You promise not to shoot?
Beery just stands up and he's just clutching one of the bottles. It's clearly one from the laboratory that he's going through in the bag, and he's just holding on to it just in case.
Is that thing you're holding dangerous, Master Dwarf?
Might be.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you put things down that might hurt me. Thing is,
Puts it back in the bag.
I tend to scare people because I'm big, and out of the thicket you see. Thing is, I'm a hill troll, and you watch as a 10-foot broad-chested enormous troll comes out speaking perfect common tongue. He goes, I promise I'm not meaning any danger. There's some weird things going on, and you're the first friendly folk I've seen in a bit, and I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Haleth has reached for his bow, but he's not shooting. He's just he's a troll. Like, he's still a troll, and they're usually threats. He's very, very taken aback by the language and seemingly intelligence. I mean, not the brightest, like he's not going to be, but he's, for a troll, Einstein. So I think Haleth is processing this. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, standing next to Haleth, he always has a hammer on his belt, right? So he just has a hand on it, not pulling it out, just a hand on it, and just kind of whispers over up to Haleth, and hey, if things turn sideways, he counts as 5.
Three.
Greetings, hello.
Hello?
I'm Beery. These are my friends. What's your name? Oh, no, it's Marvin. Yeah, I remember that.
It is, yes, I did introduce myself before. It's not to alarm you folks. Pleasure to meet you all. Thank you for not shooting me on sight. I admit.
Yeah, you're real big.
Well, I'm a troll.
I've never met a troll before. This is wonderful. Come, join us by the fire.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Yes, we don't.
Now back to Haleth. Should we be sure? I've never met one before.
Typically, they're more aggressive.
I'm a vegetarian, if it helps.
By all means, sit with us.
Thank you.
He's a vegetarian. That's good. Yeah, come.
Can I assume this man is harmless, but just to make sure, Tanel's just, as he's walking towards the fire, making sure he doesn't have any weapons of any kind, and just sort of seeing what he has on his person.
Yeah, there's no way to hide a weapon on a troll. He's
right.
enormous.
Okay.
There's no weapons on him. He is. Okay. I mean, his body is the weapon, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
He kind of shuffles over, kind of awkward, stands a little bit farther back than a normal sort of campfire would, and goes, "Thank you very much. I've got a lot of questions, and I'm going to be honest. Things have been very scary around here lately, and you folks seem friendly enough. Thought I might be able to talk."
Yes, we probably have a lot of questions for you too.
I imagine you do. You don't meet trolls very often, do you? Most of us would be like, but no, I don't want to do that.
I can't say I have ever met a troll before.
Not even one that wants to kill you, because I've met some people that have run-ins with them.
Not that I can remember.
Well, good. Maybe this is the start of a brand new experience for you.
Yes, and am already enjoying it, I think.
Excellent.
She kind of like looks over to Beery and Halibut's kind of smiling, like this is kind of great.
Yeah.
Just like this little moment.
Howlett's had some run-ins with some cave trolls and they haven't been good. So he's still a little trepidatious. Just a little. He's relaxed. He knows pretty much that he's not a threat, but he is an elf. He has certain prejudices. So
Sure. As you're all sort of mulling this over, looking at one another, Marvin speaks up and goes, Now listen, the reason I approach all of you is because I've got some questions. Now, you don't have to answer them if you don't want to. I could be on my merry way if this is not your thing.
No, I think, how about a question for a question? We'll just go
I
that
like
way.
that idea. I don't think I'm very smart, but I
Hey,
can
never say
That's
such
okay.
things about yourself. How
Uh,
dare you, Marvin?
well,
Come on.
I blame my family. They're not terribly kind, but I haven't seen them in years. But I have noticed there's some strange things going on lately. The last month, there's orcs. I've had some of my holes raided, and even traveling through the mountain passes is just a nightmare. What is going on in the wide world? You all seem like well-traveled people.
Oh, well, quite obviously, yes. My goodness. Well, first of all, be easy on yourself. There's many types of intelligence out there. And now,
Really?
most definitely. There's at least 5.
How many is
Don't
that?
ask me to name them right now because that's not
Okay.
mine. But you mentioned hoes. Hoes getting raided by oaks.
My homes. I've got many caves that I partake. I'm a hill troll by my body, but sometimes I like to sleep in a cave, keep out of the rain. But lately,
Hey, I'm a dwarf. I get it. Now, have any of the cave walls had like little veins of glinting, shiny things, or like colorful metals or anything like that? Have you seen anything like that in your journeys?
does that count as your question? Because you didn't answer my first one.
Okay.
First.
Yes, that is one of my questions, and then we'll answer one of yours.
Right. So haven't noticed many shiny things, but I'll be honest, my eyesight is not great. So it's dark in there, and I don't know.
Damn it. And he sits back down and goes through his bottles.
Right. Now, can you tell me what is going on around here?
Yes, some a shadow has started to take over the land. I think
Whose
you've already
shadow? Whose shadow? Mine? Yours? Is it me?
no, it's not yours. Sorry. I don't assume you've heard of Gwai, maybe Sauron.
Oh, a Sauron. Yeah, I heard of. The other one I haven't.
Yes.
No.
He took Sauron's place, and he's a bit worse. So things have gotten a bit worse. But I think you see that already. How many orcs have you seen? Oh boy. And Tanel just like holds up her hands and goes, more than this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots more than that. Like over the mountains, like a lot of those.
Okay. They're in the mountains, though, you said.
They were. They're all congregating in this one place, and then I think they were moving, and there's lots of like screaming and it smells something awful. I don't like it.
That does sound awful.
Yeah.
Oh God.
They've moved on now, though. They're
They
gone.
have.
Well, they're not where they were. They went any points north.
Mhm.
They went that way, but you got to go over the big rocks in the mountains. You got to get through them. Now, I got another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a good place to hide that you all know of for a troll like me? I can take a few walks, but the number I saw was I can't
That's a good question. I don't think I'd stay in the mountains, though. We've not heard good word from any
No, there
place in
appears
the
to be
mountains.
a large troop of orcs that has been moving steadily around these parts all over the mountains.
Yeah, I
north
saw
and
them.
south of here.
I saw
So-
them. They were going from south to the other one, and there was a big flying thing with them, and it talked and it shrieked, and I was just, it's terrifying.
Then we did find a lovely cave up north, lower than Angmar. Remember, we were thinking about building a summer home there. Yeah,
Yeah, we were. That is very true.
oh yeah,
No, nice cave up north.
there
There
is.
is a
Yeah.
nice cave
Yes.
up north.
It's in my size, because I'm much bigger than all of you. You got
One minute you just got to dig down further and make the ceiling higher. Simple as that, my friend.
I never thought of that before. That's brilliant.
Think like a dwarf.
Oh, do you got? I guess this counts as my next question. You got any advice on making your house bigger underground?
Well, let me see your hands, homie. Show me your hands.
And he holds them up, and they're just like the size of huge tree stumps, just like like whatever a 10 to 12 foot cave troll's hands are gonna
Just
look like.
monstrous
Sausage link fingers is like, hey.
All right, and he shows him kind of in the dirt, kind of next to the fire, and just kind of like does like little scooping actions. Like, now these, you've been born with the most magical tools you could ever find anywhere. It's your hands, my friend. Look, and you could just keep digging, and you're never going to reach the bottom. You could just keep going, and it's forever. And who knows what type of magical things you can find? Things that glint, things that shine and clink in your fingers.
I've got magic hands.
You got magic hands, my friend. High five with our magic hands. And he's just going to try and like leap up and give him a high five.
Make an athletics check.
Let's go.
Excellent.
Oh, he's got some athletics. 18.
18.
And it beats it.
He holds it up real high, and you, knowing you're not going to make it, are like jumping with as much force as you can. And very quickly, Marvin brings his hand down, and you very quickly like, and you hit the high five. Perfect.
I love it. Yes.
He goes, I don't know where that was, but I liked it. Can we do it again?
Next question.
Oh, that's right. I got two. You're up next. Okay.
And just waits for like one of the elves to make a much better question than he's going to conjure.
Yeah, you
There's-
elf man. Oh, sorry, lady. The elf man hasn't spoken to me yet. I promise I'm not a danger to you, sir.
We're fine.
No,
I'll
that's
hold my
okay.
question.
That's okay. I need you to explain to me where you learned such fluency in the common tongue.
Oh, well, it's not that uncommon. I know your kind probably aren't used to dealing with folks such as myself, but some of us trolls are quite well spoken. There was my uncle, Bert, Tom, something I don't even remember. I haven't seen him in years, but
That's
but
okay.
distant relations haven't spoken in a while. But us hill trolls could be very well mannered if we all work towards it, and I think I might be the first to try. But that was your question. My next question: can we do the hand thing again? And he holds up his hands to the two elves.
Oh,
Certainly. And
Tanel?
Howard holds up a hand as well.
So sorry, I was taking notes. Yes.
And he kind of gingerly brings his hands forward, and you both high five. Marvin kind of looks at you and just goes, "Thank you very much. That was quite nice." Now, you mentioned there was a cave in the north. I've never really traveled that far. How far is it?
It's several days. North.
By foot, by horse, by what?
We traveled on foot, didn't we?
I think we did.
Mostly on. Well, it was on a horse. No, it was on foot. It was
You were on horseback when you
We were
traveled
on
to Angmar.
horseback, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, it was on horseback, dear friend.
I mean, hey, it's gonna be a journey, my friend. But hey, what's something gained if it's not tough? You have a wonderful summer home. We can come and visit you.
Oh,
I'll help you dig it.
that.
Ooh,
Oh,
I have plans up in my noggin about like a den, a place for books can be read. Have you like to read?
what's a book?
Oh, all right. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Yeah,
Oh,
just avoid Rivendell. Just
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot. There's a lot of folk like them.
No,
Not like me.
no. No, I don't
Yeah.
go there. I know my place. It's in the ground. It's in the hills. It's in nature.
You and me, we're similar.
You are welcome anytime. If I ever find this cave, I shall stay there until you come find me.
I'll bring some ale.
Oh, excellent.
Do we know? Have we got a map? Do we know where that cave, like a roundabout, might have been? I'm sure we would have been plotting sort of.
Yeah,
our journey.
you'd have a map. I'd absolutely say you'd have a map. You'd
Okay.
be able to sort of find it. You
I'd
were
say-
roughly a couple of hours travel from Angmar when you reached
Yeah.
that cave. So
Yeah.
if you want to pull it out, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll pull it out and I'll point it to him. And I'll say, now, Marvin, one of the benefits of this particular cave, says Halloweth, the real estate agent, is it's been cleared out by the Dunedain for years and years. The Dunedain have been patrolling this area, keeping it free of orcs, keeping it free of other nasty things. You should be safe there and untroubled.
And these Dooney people, they're not going to come and try and kill me.
No. They're busy at war down south.
If
Oh,
you-
so there is a war. There is a war going on.
Like a note.
A note.
What if you gave you like a note? Yeah.
Oh.
The heroes of Rivendell, which we are.
Oh,
We're heroes.
I didn't know I was in such company. I apologize. And he
yeah.
gives this low
Oh,
I
there's
know.
you don't know. You don't
Oh.
need to do that.
Fine.
But
I quite enjoyed that. Thank you.
I feel like we can give him a note, and
Mhm.
and you just show him a note with our signatures, our prestigious signatures, and maybe we can get you safe passage.
They're not there. Aren't they going south to Gondor?
Well,
It's-
some of them might come find the cave. Maybe not now,
Yes,
maybe not
that's-
tomorrow, but
No, that's true. Okay.
That's what I was worried about as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Marvin, I do have one more question for you, and we'll give you a note to give to them if anyone asks,
Right.
so that you're safe. We're looking for a man who lives in the woods around the pass, around around the Gladden River Pass. He would be a man who lives in the woods, probably a little bit older. Have you seen a man like that?
West of Mirkwood.
West of Mirkwood. Is that the big forest thingy over the mountains?
Yes.
The dark forest where nasty things live.
I don't try and go there often. I can't swim, so I can't get over the river. So no, I'm sorry. I've never actually seen. I mean, I've seen old men before. They
Oh, yes.
usually run and scream, but yeah.
Gotcha. And Tanel just kind of turns to Halloweth and was like, worth a shot to see if he's seen the wizard.
He might have been able to swim. Who knows? Well, thank you, Marvin. You have been a help and a bright spark in this dim, shadowed world right now.
We made a new friend.
We did.
On the first day, too.
This is a good adventure.
And I'm about to go on my own. Excellent. So
Well,
what's this?
I feel like no. Well, I feel like there's more. I mean, what pass are we trying to go through? It starts with a G, right?
Like Gladden Field.
Gladden, yeah.
Mm.
How close have you gone through there? I know you haven't gone through Mirkwood or anything like that, but does the path seem clear?
I don't usually go through the passes. I just climb up the mountain and shuffle my way up. And that's a couple of days ago. That's when I noticed all the orcs when they were coming down and scurrying about.
Where were the orcs when you were, gallivanting about?
And he kind of points towards the direction you're heading east.
Great.
And as he's pointing,
Can you point on this map where you could imagine? So, where are we? Beery has no idea where we're at on the map. Hal, can you point where we are? And maybe he can point where.
I point where we are, and then I point where we're going and say, how many orcs were there 2 days ago around this? Here's a little circle. This area here.
And he kind of takes a moment and he looks down and up and back down again and
Elle holds up her hands again.
way more than that, like a lot of them. But when I was doing my climbing, they were moving north. I don't know where they're going because I haven't ventured too far north, but I think I'm about to.
Okay.
But
Well, we still watch out for orcs, and B, they might have cleared off at least some of them by now that we can sneak past.
well, safe travels. Do you want? What's
Yes.
the note?
Here's hang on.
Oh,
And
yes.
Holloweth creates a very fancy get a scroll of parchment. Do we have anything to write with?
There is cases of parchment. There are several ink wells, and Beery packs heavy. There is
Mhm.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like the complete opposite of Holloweth. Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
The carriage is packed like a gypsy cart.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Then he takes one of the many inkwells and scrawls a little note declaring Marvin's sort of free pass through, that he knows and his friends of us that he is not bid to be disturbed and helped if possible.
All right, so it's gonna have to be a pretty hefty sized piece of parchment, and even so, he's gonna quick.
Well, he's a big dude. He'll lose otherwise.
Yeah, he's gonna look at it and go, "Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I will keep this with me."
Is he wearing any trousers or anything like that?
He's got a loincloth on.
He's got a loincloth?
loincloth.
I want to so he doesn't lose it. Now I'm freaked out that he's gonna lose the damn thing. Can Beery fashion him a little scroll case or something so he doesn't have to hold on to the damn thing?
Would you like to put it in one of your pouches that you have?
He does have a lot of pouches.
I'd say you could
Exactly.
empty one out and use it.
And just do some do you guys ever tie ropes together? Not just knots, right? But threading rope to make a loop and stuff like that. He's gonna try and do that on his loincloth to give him a little pocket. He's trying to give him a pocket.
I'll say you spend the next minute or two trying to fashion. He's like, "What are you doing?" But you're just
Hold
keep
still.
going. All right, right. And you fashion this little loop knot with one of the pouches, and you put the little note in it, and he goes, "Oh, well, thank you very much. Now I've got both hands free."
Oh, and speaking of which, grab a from the fire a little bit of charcoal, and his hands can take it. He runs a bunch of charcoal on his hand. He goes, "One for the road."
Oh, right. And he holds it up.
And just as mighty as Beery can get, he's gonna jump off of a rock and kind of Top Gun style, not quite doing the back one too, but give him a little mark so for him to remember.
He
for the
looks,
road.
Yeah. I bet that hurt you more than it hurt me.
a little bit, but I like it.
Me too. High fives. And he holds up the two of his hands to the elves.
Yep. Just very lightly.
Go
Still
for
not
it.
quite
Yeah,
getting what it
just-
is.
Sure.
Excellent. Well, thank you all so much for answering my questions. I had no idea what was going on. I can't travel in the daylight, so I'm going to go head north and make sure when you come find me in that cave, you come at nighttime. Otherwise, I'm going to turn to stone. Right?
Yeah, we can't have that.
You got it, friend. Safe travels.
Are we friends now?
Friends.
Why not? Sure.
Right. Well, Best of luck to you on your journeys. Don't die. And you watch him sort of scurry away off into the forest from whence he came.
No.
What a
I'm
little
gonna
bit of
cry.
Tanel like turns to the group and just says, well, that gave me a little bit of hope that there's some light out here.
Yeah. Same here.
Weird troll-like light.
But it's light nonetheless.
It's beautiful.
I'll still take
Oh.
the first watch if you both would rather sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
After a bit of research, sleep. Yeah. Thanks. Wake us up if anything happens, okay?
Yes, of course.
Halloweth a nice pat on the back, nice firm one.
Like,
Leaving a nice big charcoal back pat.
Beautiful.
And he goes back to going through the bottles.
Okay. You all spend the evening just hanging around, conversing, and then Tanel, you will take the first watch. I will ask you to make a scan check.
Oh,
For
all
watch.
right. Let's do this. Ooh, okay. 16. I hit my target number of 11.
All right. You spend the first part of the watch keeping an eye out on things. You don't hear any rustling in the bushes, nothing going on. Passes quietly, and you can go to the next person.
She is going to wake Halloweth up because I assume Beery stayed up a little bit longer working on something.
100%.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
she's gonna
adorable.
gently wake Halloweth up.
Yep. Halloweth awakes from his trance and he's going to nod.
I didn't see or
Okay.
hear anything, so.
Excellent. That is good news.
Mhm. And Tanel just goes off to bed.
And now Halloweth's going to stay up alert to any potential danger.
All right, Halloweth, go ahead and make me a scan check.
You got it. Mm-hmm. Oh, easy. 20. Beat our target number by 8.
Beautiful.
Nice.
With 6. Yeah.
You
All
do
the
not
stuff.
notice anything through your portion of the shift.
Excellent.
However, Tanel,
Oh.
as you are laying down,
Oh, no.
you enter the here's a fun obscure Lord of the Rings fact. Elves don't need the same amount of sleep that regular humans or dwarves do. So you enter this trance-like state of half sleep. And as you are in this state of sleep, you start to feel the world around you, having had this really pleasant experience, really the first like good moment that you've had in a while. And you feel this connection with the world. And you close your eyes, and in your mind's eye, you can start to see Lothlorien, your home. And the image within the trance starts to blur. It is as you remember it. Whole trees, tall, the sunlight peeking through the canopy and creating this golden light. And it slowly starts to shift to a moonlight, but a moonlight that is very bright. And as you glance around your mind's eye, you see trees that look as though they have almost come apart piece by piece. Every branch, every root, every leaf seems to be separating, almost frozen in time. And you look around with your eyes, and the trees seem as though they've been almost hit by like a projectile, like a catapult of some kind, and they're in the midst of exploding. And everything is separated in that moment. And it fades back to the way it was, with the trees being whole in the golden light. But there was a flicker that haunts your dreams. Meantime, as you are in this trance, you can't really do much about it. So, Halloweth, I will say your watch ends, and you are free to bring Beery back.
Okay. He does exactly that. He taps him on the shoulder. You're up.
Oh, it's right over here. Comes out of the bag. Looks around. So what to now?
Well,
It's still your watch, like it's still
Yeah.
nighttime.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be. Damn it! I thought we were gonna be going. Okay, so it's gonna be very boring. Did you see anything?
no, my watch was quiet, tranquil. No issues to report.
Hi, good thing we had that big fella. I bet
Mhm.
every spooky thing within a mile's radius has vacated the premises, and
Let's
now he's
hope
our
so.
buddy.
Long may it continue.
Right. All right, get to bed. I'm gonna check things out.
Okay. Yeah, safe watch. And he
Oh,
goes
yeah.
into his trance-like state.
All right.
And he waits for Halloweth to fall asleep, and then goes back to studying the bottles.
Are you focusing on the bottles instead of your
Because
watch?
everything's been going perfectly. He's very determined to figure out what every component of the laboratory was. He's got a conviction. He's got an obsession going on.
All right. So we're gonna make 2 rolls here. Make
Oh,
an insight check and then make a scan check with disadvantage.
insight.
You got to
Why
figure out what these
insight?
potions are.
It's a failure.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
You spend a good portion of your watch looking at these, and you had this moment of eureka when you were just combining potions when you were in Angmar, trying to slice through the crystal, but the ones that you grabbed that were left on the table, just it's not coming to you. Meantime, Halloweth,
Oh,
Before
goody,
we
it's my
make-
turn.
before we make Beery's scan check,
Oh God.
Yay.
I would like you to make an awareness check for me.
Okay, sure thing. 21. My target number
21.
is 12.
All right. Halloweth, as you enter your trance-like state, you feel yourself fall deeper into a sleep than you are usually used to.
Okay.
And as you enter this trance, you see Palando standing at a dais in Rivendell.
Okay.
And he turns around and makes eye contact with you. And he looks at you and he just kind of tilts his head.
May I help you, my lord? Oh, yeah.
And you seem to understand that you can't really talk to him. He can't hear you. You can't hear him. But his signing, whatever he is doing right now, imprints upon your mind, even though you're not aware of what he is doing, still translates the message as best you can. And he looks at you and he signs again. And you seem to understand at this moment that the eagle is not doing well. Landreval, the one that told the tale of everything that happened.
Yeah, I figured this day would come. Okay.
And he gestures to you and he goes, and you understand that it is a sorry, an apology, that he has to be the one to deliver this news. And he waits a moment. And he raises his hand cautiously and just kind of reaches out towards you and takes a few steps forward.
Okay.
And he tries to put his hand on your head.
Okay.
Do you let him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a wizard.
The scene between you and Palando in Rivendell changes to a desert. And you see, in a very blurred trance-like state, about 10 feet in front of you, Alatar and Palando's backs as they face an enormous desert in front of them. And they both look at each other and nod. And Palando looks back at you and nods, and the dream shifts. And the two continue through the desert, and it shifts again. And you see them meeting groups of people, interacting with what you would know in maybe lore only, because you haven't really interacted, to be what you assume are the Haradrim, these dark, tanned skin people. And off in the distance is one of their oilifants carrying what seems to be a huge pack. And there's this interaction between the two, and the dream shifts again, and they're sitting having a meal with these people, and they're hanging out with these children, showing them the little sparks that they can conjure with their magical powers. And all of a sudden there is an enormous room that you find yourself in, redstone, brightly lit, with the two wizards standing at the top of steps that seem like places of power to you. And they are approached by a figure in white, and you're back in Rivendell, and he takes the hand away from your head and just stands there.
Okay. There's a lot to process there. So a desert. Where could a desert be?
You'd have a pretty good idea that
it
this is east
Yeah, I was gonna say.
in the east, towards where
There's that huge, this massive desert like between the Misty Mountains and Mordor, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
there is the brown lands further out.
So,
Yeah. And Tori's got it up. There's
There you go.
there's the Sea of Rune in the area of Rune.
Okay.
And you just you get the sense that this wizard, who you had a pretty solid connection with, having helped heal him, wanted to share his story with you.
Interesting. A figure in white. Could that be Saruman?
I mean,
I would assume so. I wonder what dealings. Maybe he betrayed them. I mean, that sounds a lot like Saruman. Sounds like something he'd do.
But the version that we know, like that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
When he was okay.
Well, he was always fairly power hungry, even when he was part of the Order. Okay, stuff to ponder for sure.
Absolutely.
When we talked to them, they said Saruman betrayed them, didn't they?
Yeah, there was an indication that Saruman did betray them, but you didn't get the full story because Halbarad stormed out, and you all followed. You all followed him.
Ooh, that means Isengard is well.
Okay.
Yeah, they asked what had become of Saruman because
Right.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Okay.
So the dream then shifts, Halloweth.
Oh boy, more?
More.
Bollocks. Okay.
This now I'd like you to make another awareness check for me.
Of course. Okay.
Come on, Elf. You're so aware.
So aware of everything. Make me aware. That's not very aware, Zach. No, 9. I don't have a target number.
All right. The dream shifts and Palando is gone. And you find yourself seemingly transported, reliving this kind of memory, similar to how, you can replay, alternate situations in your head. You see and feel yourself in this kind of dream.
Okay.
You're at the council you were at less than 24 hours ago, where Alatar and Glorfindel and the three of you decided what to do when you got the news. And you feel this cold wind passing through you, and you notice that Bilbo has kind of come out of your body almost in like this ghost-like state, and you realize that this is something very, very different.
Yeah.
And You watch yourself reluctantly handing over the bag of that contain the elven rings of power to Bilbo.
Mm-hmm.
And your dream body for the first time starts moving. And Bilbo left, and you are following the dream Bilbo. And the dream shifts to total darkness, and you continue your rest.
God, cool. Okay. Bloody hell. It's a lot. Okay.
You've done a lot. You've done a lot
That
recently.
was a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Beery, we're finally going to come back to you. You need
In
to
the
make...
meantime, Beery's now like trying to. He's like, I'm not going to sniff test these things. I'm not an alchemist. I don't know what the hell. But Beery does spend a lot of time with quenching oils that are highly flammable and also acids for casting and stuff like that. So now he's starting to like pour just little bits out, like a little bit in the fire to see if it's flammable. Can he can he use a craft check to try to discern what's in these bottles?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Just
no.
like, like actively starting to like pour stuff out and see how it interacts with things.
This can only go well.
Uh-huh.
What could go wrong? Be perfect.
Oh, you did not just
We've
quote
taken
Justin.
Famous last words.
But we've taken the wrong things. Just
What lessons did Halbarad teach you people? Come on.
Gotta make some shade. Here we go. Everything looked perfectly according to plan. Wait, I am favored, right?
You
In
are.
craft, yes.
So you would re-roll a d12. You would roll 2 d12.
I rolled an Eye of Sauron, but I also rolled a 4 and a lot. So it does hit the target number, but I did roll a Eye of Sauron, but with favored.
It cancels out.
Oh my God, okay. Just explodes across the...
You were about to light your friends on fire.
oh my
Oh, good,
God,
yeah.
Beery.
Bloody hell.
Hey, it's science. We got to figure this out.
It's true.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we learn more
Okay.
from our failures than we do from what is it from Last Jedi? Failure is the best teacher.
Oh yeah, something
Mm,
I
like
can't remember
yes.
the
that.
exact quote.
Oh God.
Beery. You manage to take these bottles that you have and lovable klutz that you are, start pouring them into the fire. And you notice that 2 of the 6 vials that you grabbed make the fire burst into flames. And you recognize that 2 of them are flammable. Yes, it is for the concoction that you were trying to create. We'll say for those purposes, if you're trying to light something on fire, this is the thing you want to use. It's an accelerant.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Beery, I need you to make a scan check, ill-favored.
You got it. Here we go. I mean, like the fire's, blazing right now. So, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of light.
Oh God.
Oh, we're good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a 21.
21. All right. Just a friendly reminder. A successful scan check doesn't guarantee your safety. It just means you'll
Yeah,
see the
which is
thing
means
Yeah.
we know what's
Coming.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
So
But nothing
just-
happens.
Well, that's good.
You spend
Something.
the evening with no problems, and you wake up the 2 elves after a few hours, and you are able to continue on your way towards the Gladden River Pass.
Yeah, as soon as he sees the sun rising over the pass,
Yeah.
east,
Mhm.
over the pass, starts kind of waking up the elves, gently, not too bombastic, and good morning. I haven't started breakfast yet, but if you're real hungry, I can make up something. I really hope my friend made it safely because apparently he turns to stone if not.
Yeah, trolls do that. Not the best, not the biggest fans of sunlight.
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
sure he'll be
I've-
fine.
He'll
I've
be
met
fine.
plenty of
He'll be
dwarves
alright.
that way.
I bet. Okay, breakfast. Can I forage for some damn berries, please? Sick of these rations.
Make a hunting check for me. We'll see what happens.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Is that the
okay.
first time we've used something like
It
that?
is,
Yeah.
yes.
Hunting? What,
Can I
do
aid
have?
him?
Do I have
Hmm.
that?
You know what? I think I told you not to use hunting. Never mind. Let's
cool.
bring
Oh,
that
Yeah,
back.
we've got it
it's-
scratched out.
Never mind. Yeah,
Could
I'll
that be
go ahead.
travel?
No, that would probably just be a scan check. That would be another scan check.
Okay, I can do that.
Can I help him? Is there any way?
Uh,
Hey,
you
what
can-
about that?
You can either help him by giving him favor, so he'd roll 2d12 and take the higher, or you
I
can
would like
roll
that.
your. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to just like tag along and,
wait,
just learn more.
All right,
I
so-
roll what? Sorry.
So Halloweth, you are going to roll 2d12 and take the higher of the two, plus whatever d6 you want.
What about that mushroom over there? Does that look good?
Oh boy, you have much to learn. Yeah, I beat my I hit my target number exactly.
All right. Spend about 15, 20 minutes searching around. You do manage to find a small patch of blueberries.
Fantastic.
All right. So you gather them all up, bringing them back to the group.
Yep. And I'm gonna wrap this up in. Oh boy, what do I have as a ration which I can wrap it in? I don't know. Maybe I'll crumble up some. No, I don't even. What do my rations
No, we-
entail exactly?
Here's
Bread.
you could make a pretty solid blueberry crumble out of this if you really wanted
yeah,
to.
but do I have sugar? To kind of does that?
You've got the natural sweetness of blueberries, but again, you're in the wild.
Okay, I'll make do. I'll make a little crumble. I'll make a little brew. I don't have nearly half the ingredients I would normally like, but I will make a little blueberry crumble.
Go ahead.
I just imagine Halloweth mumbling that as he's
Yeah.
I do. Do you know how often I do that when I'm actually cooking? When I have when I don't actually have all the stuff that I need, or I have to use like substitutions or something. I'm grumbling like this is not the best that it could be, and then I serve it. Like I've spent like an hour and a half making this like massive meal, and I'll serve it to like me and whoever, and I'd be like, I'm sorry, it's shit. This is just
And
terrible.
you're just
I'm the
talking, yeah.
worst. This is just ugh. Like I
The
spent
joys
ages
of
making
cooking
it. It should be
somewhere
really
else.
juicy, but I'm sorry if it's terrible.
So
I
this
don't
is
have half the ingredients I have.
so my suspicions are confirmed that Halloweth is just the way more emotionally damaged version of you.
Yeah, way older. He's just if he is Zach. If I lived for 6,000 years, yeah.
Live long and prosper, my friend. Anyway, you make a delicious blueberry crumble, and the three of you enjoy it. You know what? That was clever enough. I'll give you 2 temporary hit points for that one.
Yes. Good job, Hal. This
Good
is
stuff.
delicious.
I'm
Good,
glad
'cause
you
I'm
think
not-
so, dwarf.
All right. So you all eat your breakfast and are prepared for the next day of travel. For this portion, you will, reach the Gladden River Pass and will be crossing it at this point. You made really great time yesterday.
Have we decided to go? And I'll say this in character. I think we should still be very careful. I know that Marvin said that most of them had moved north, but I fear that there are stragglers.
Agreed.
I think we should be very careful and very quiet on our way through this
Okay.
pass.
Stealth it is.
All right. So, in addition to the normal scans, I will ask all of you, even though you're on horseback, you're making, scans. And at any point, you can dismount the horse and be a little bit more stealthy as you approach. Go ahead and make your normal rolls that you did yesterday with an additional scan check for each with an additional stealth check for each of you.
I'm going to roll
Um,
scan first and then stealth.
I'm gonna dismount.
Do you want to take scan? Okay, I'll take. I can take travel.
That works for me.
Yeah, sure. I'll do. I'll do. Am I doing awareness?
Yeah, you'll do awareness. Go ahead and make the rolls.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I failed.
I succeeded with
I-
with a 6 on a d6 as well.
I hit my scan target number exactly. 11.
Okay.
Then stealth.
You guys. Oh,
Gandalf for stealth. And
Oh,
oh my
stealth.
god, and
Oh
2
my-
6s on the die. We're so
Wow.
whoa.
Holy
There is no
shit.
catching you.
Oh my God.
Just gonna snap that for posterity.
I also easily beat my stealth check.
Stealth is the gypsy cart is a little noisy. It's a
Oh no.
little laden.
All right.
Oh.
You three spend the few hours getting closer to the mountain pass. And as you get closer and closer, you dismount, you walk the horses, and it's a pass up the mountains, right? It's not like just a big hill that you climb over, right? It's winding roads and similar to where Rohan was by the Dwimmerberg in Return of the King.
Switchbacks.
Yeah, exactly. Switchbacks up the side of the mountain.
Mm.
And you follow it for a really long time, and you're going up for a few hours. And there is a huge rock about halfway up, blocking the path completely. And it's in such a pivotal point where the switchback turns around, you kind of figure that maybe it was put there on purpose.
Oh.
Cool.
Well,
Interesting.
Somehow this feels like we're heading in the right direction. Is there, I'm assuming there's no way to get the horses around this.
No, you would need to physically move the boulder.
All right. Well, ready to let's get with it. And
Well,
luckily
hold
you
on,
have
hold, hold on.
Oh,
I have an idea before we start pushing rocks down mountains and causing a lot of noise.
but could you imagine how wonderful it would be to watch this rock
No.
fly down that hill?
I agree with you. It'd be magnificent. But
I mean, you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? I mean,
No,
if
it-
I
You're
just
seeing
undercut,
it would be
if I just
glorious.
undercut, it would be fantastic.
heavens, okay.
Be glorious.
Oh, the
Just-
I
sound.
can already
give me
imagine
sound.
Mervin just
The shards.
Tanel really just put her head down.
Yes.
Just let me make sure there's no one in the immediate area of this rock that will hear us.
You've got 5 minutes. This is enough that I can
That
quell
is-
this excitement.
All I need. And
Very good.
Tanel's gonna hop off her horse and scale the rock and hop over to see if there's anyone ahead.
With the stealth check that you made, no problem. You
Excellent.
make your way up at least 2.5 minutes up this pass because
Mhm.
you know that after 5 minutes they're just going to start.
Oh, it's all
smashing you.
over. Yeah.
of course. You do not see any orcs, any creatures, any people as you make your way up the pass. It seems safe, but there's no way the horses are getting around it.
Okay, perfect. I will make my way back, hop back over the rock, very elf-like, graceful. All right, you can push the rock.
Beery's been like
Yay.
pacing with his like pickaxe, his digging axe, you know, and just pretty much is gonna like undercut up to so that we can use a little bit of leverage and then just tip it.
Okay. So
Just undermine it.
Howard's gonna jump and kind of push it like with his back to, I'm assuming like the cliff
Mhm,
face, and then
mhm.
push with his feet.
Oh, nice. Little
Tanel,
teamwork.
are you taking part in this?
No, she's gonna keep watch because she's still kind of nervous that there might be some nefarious goings on with this. So she's just gonna keep a lookout and make sure the horses don't bolt as this thing tumbles down the mountainside.
100%.
Tanel,
Beery's just so excited to dig.
Tanel, go ahead and make an awareness check.
All right.
Halloweth, Beery, make a strength check.
Done.
I hit my target number exactly.
Okay.
14.
Is it just a straight strength roll?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, hang on. Let me try that again.
Athletics.
Yeah. Halloweth, Beery, give me an athletics check.
I beat my target number by 1.
Did a 21. I did plus 10 on top of my target number, and it's a crit with a 6.
Oh, okay.
He's excited to dig. He's in his element.
Nice.
Dig.
That's amazing.
I dislike stereotypes, but in this case, I am going to let boys be boys. Beery, Halloweth, please describe to me exactly
Mhm.
how you push this boulder off the mountain.
Here you go first.
Yeah, Beery's just using the flat kind of shovel end of his pickaxe, and he's just digging, pulling, and getting to where he's almost undermined, almost down a chute down the mountain, undermining just about where the rock is just about ready to pivot, about halfway, not in danger, but close. And then he rolls out of the way and, all right, give me your best push.
And Halloweth pushes with all his might, all his springy elven legs pushing straight over the top of this boulder to make it go just tip over the undermine. And down it goes. I assume it rolls off the path and tumbles free fall down.
So the way switchbacks work is there's no guardrail by the edge of it. So you watch this boulder, thousands of pounds, start to tip slowly, Halloweth giving it his all, and then it starts to
there it goes.
And you hear the rumble as it crunches underneath the rock and gravel and dirt, and thum, 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 and it gains speed and it goes down that part of the switchback, and you watch as it sails off into the air, hovering, almost holding in place, hang time of at least 6 or 7 seconds, until you hear this great boom at the bottom as the boulder smashes into a million pieces in the rocks below.
Just give Halloweth a look. Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one.
Was magnificent. I will give you that.
Now we better go quickly.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Give yourself a fellowship point, and and we will very quickly take our 1 hour break. We will see you all
An hour?
in about 5 minutes.
Okay. I thought we're breaking for an hour. What?
We will have our 5-minute break because we have approached our 1 hour time
Okay,
limit.
cool.
There it is.
Just checking.
See you all in 5.
Yay.
And welcome back. When we last left off, the party had had some very interesting dreams, met a hill troll named Marvin, and pushed a boulder down a hill and smashed it into smithereens, earning themselves a fellowship point. It was quite glorious. So we will pick it up right where we left off. The three of you are able to lead the horses. You know what? Just for the sake of clarity, so nobody's worried about them, Tanel, I'll say you lead the horses back down the switchback so they didn't get squashed by the rock.
Yeah,
because
thank you.
There are enough, there are enough horse girls that are followers of this. They're like,
Thank you.
but what about the like? Yeah.
No, I want to make sure they didn't spook. I've taken very good care of my little baby horses.
You continue on up the switchback with very little else in your way. The boulder seems to be like the one stopping point, but you've got the strength of an elf and the ingenuity of a kleptomaniac dwarf. So you make your way up the mountain pass, and as you continue to sort of travel back and forth, the silence around you is the thing that you notice the most. There are there is wind, there are birds, there are things happening, but as you crest over the mountain pass, the traces of life are significantly less than you were expecting. And in fact, you can now see down into the eastern side of the Misty Mountains. It's going to take you a few hours to get down, but there are no orcs.
Are there any tracks of orcs through this pass? I mean, someone put that damn rock there.
That's not even a roll you need to make. Yeah, you would start to notice that there are tracks as you continue to get higher up. Someone clearly put the boulder there to try and block anyone that might be trying to get up on horseback or carrying any major supplies. You were able to push it off, no problem.
Marvin said he heard them. He was able to hear them. So I'm wondering if they really have moved on, because I hear nothing.
But what do your elf's eyes see?
She kind of like smirks.
Let's
An extra 6 HP to the final boss.
Oh, no, shit! Not again!
There needs to be a game of how many references we make to
Yeah.
the movie lines.
It's 14.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, Tanel's gonna try to like find a higher vantage point, even if that means like sort of climbing up the side a little bit, and see if she can see any like trails of campfire smoke, of any movement, especially north.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say you don't even need to make rolls for this, because the
Great.
whatever happened here, it was large enough that you could notice. So when an army makes camp for an evening and is not marching on its feet day and night, it beds down, it leaves fires that are left untended. Sometimes people forget their camps. There's mud, there's waste left some places. So as you sort of glance out into the Gladden River Pass, obviously the main thing you notice is the river, and the bridge that connects the north and south portions of the river is still there, but it definitely looks that the southern side is way muddier, as if there were lots of foot traffic there for a while.
It does seem that they've passed through, but
yeah.
I'm not sure where they're going. It does worry me.
No, I'm unfamiliar with this terrain. What's north from here?
I mean, Rivendell.
Well, I mean, on the other side of the Misty Mountains, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's to the west.
So from a geological standpoint, you would know that crossing the Gladden Fields River Pass bridge, they would be on the other side they would be on the eastern side of the river. So they'd still need to cross the western side if they were trying to get to Mirkwood or the Grey Mountains or Erebor, but they are heading north.
Gotcha. Okay.
What does this mountainside look like? Is it pretty much a bunch of gnarly, jagged boulders? Or is it primarily pretty much just like a dirt hillside?
So this particular portion that you're traveling is a well-trod path. The Gladden River Pass is a way that the elves and the dwarves would use to get over, right? So it's fairly well traveled, and it's not necessarily gnarled, but there is a clear path. But what is not a path is fairly impassable.
It's just rocks and it's very craggy. Good. This is good. These are good things. Okay. Hi, elves, right here. So I have an idea, maybe a bit of like just in cases sort of a situation. I'm gonna set up traps, kind of like a controlled avalanche, maybe if it works. No idea, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up a stick, and every switchback we go, I'll put up a stick and I'll stack a bunch of rocks on it, and maybe that'll start a cascade. But you with the arrows and things, if you can shoot that stick out, maybe we can have a controlled kind of epic event. Just throwing it out there as we kind of descend on the other side. I can do it every so often.
I quite like that idea. It would give us an advantage if anything was coming up behind us.
I mean, or if we see something down below, you can fire at it, and then we could dodge off to the side and just watch. It's gonna be great.
That's not a
Sounds good
bad
to
idea.
me.
I grew up in the mines of Erebor. I know rocks. No rocks real well. So
Yeah.
just throwing it out there.
Yes, I'm fine with that. It seems that, it does seem that most have gone on, but it doesn't hurt to be prepared.
We're making good
Just in
time.
cases.
We can afford to do that.
Okay, good.
All right. So here's how we're gonna play this. As you're making your way down through the switchbacks, I'm not gonna make you do a check each time, but Beery, I'd like you to make a craft check for me as a way to set up these traps. So go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone understands that. Yeah, it's just kind of bust off a stick, set a big boulder up, and then just stack rocks on it. So that's very precarious. And if that stick goes, a lot of stuff happens underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gains momentum from there.
Sure.
I love it. Okay. So in doing it every other switchback. So I don't know how far down this descent is, but often.
Yeah, it'll probably take you the better part of a few hours to get down. So you'll spend one going down, another, and you can just kind of keep going.
I love it. As long as the elves are within what he imagines is within range.
They'll be
each
fine.
One.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
I rolled an Eye of Sauron, but he is favored with craft. Thank God.
Oh, that's twice now, Max.
That's
Yeah.
twice.
God.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Weirdly lucky with the Eye of Sauron rolls.
Yeah. That is a 20.
You need to. There you go.
Okay. A 20. I'll say you make these no problem. No issues of rocks accidentally falling. You set up your traps successfully. And you spend the next few hours coming down the mountain pass with these sort of traps ready to go. And you don't really see any of the rocks fall. Nothing gets sprung. And they are there as you reach the bottom.
During one of the times that Beery is setting up these traps, Tanel is just going to take a little aside to Halloweth and say, I worry that our enemy is doing somewhat of a scorched earth as they travel through the land. But I'm now wondering how much of his army he's leaving in each place.
Well, the more places he visits, the more thinly spread he will be, like butter scraped over too much bread.
That's an extra 6 HP to the final boss. Yeah.
Zach, I could just hug the shit out of you right now. Yes.
I had to. Yeah.
It sucks because that was the perfect reference. Well done, you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
6 more points.
Inspired.
That makes sense. Listen, he'll be weaker the more places he visits.
Yes.
I hate to think of the horrors that he's leaving behind. My only thought now is linear. Get one thing done at a time. We need to head to Lorien. We need to fix, save, rescue, battle. We have so much ahead of us there. We can't afford to have our minds wander to the rest of Middle Earth right now.
No, I understand. It makes me maybe a little hopeful that there's not as much of an army waiting for us.
It's certainly going to be a plus.
I just worry for
well,
everything else.
Middle Earth is going to turn into a battleground, whether we contain it or not. All we can do is our best. We will have victory. We do have hope. We have many aspects of light on our side. That's all we can use.
I'm starting to see it more and more, which does make me hopeful. Thank you.
All right. You all continue down the switchbacks and make it to the bottom of the eastern side of the Misty Mountains. And as you are scanning out on this battlefield, Tanel, with that scan check that you made, you're kind of continuing to glance out, and you notice that there is a small lone figure standing in what seems to be the sort of muddied area, just kind of looking down, paying you no mind.
Does it appear that he like is looking at us or is just standing there?
Just looking down at the ground, just kind of like moving this way and that, kneeling down, picking up some rocks.
Tanel just like sort of throws her arms out and stops everyone and just very quietly and points to the figure standing. Does he appear human?
She turns around and looks at you, and you notice that this is a small child. And she looks at you and goes, "Hello, would you like to help me find some slugs?"
Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing here? And
looking for slugs?
Nell gets off her horse and walks up. Yes, I can help you, but are you all right?
Yeah, I'm looking for slugs.
Oh, good for you. We should be moving on.
What? Are they delicious?
Oh, no.
I used to eat them, but my mum told me not to. They don't taste very good.
No, I don't imagine they do. Where is your mother?
Oh, she's at home.
Which way is home?
That way. And she points south.
Good. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. And he kind of goes, we can't stop at every single person we meet.
So you're not going to help me look for slugs?
Are you here by yourself?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm looking for slugs.
Oh my goodness. The logic of a child.
Have you seen any orcs in your slug hunting?
Well, yeah, they were here before, but I waited until they were gone, and then I went to look for slugs.
They left you unharmed. That's wonderful news. I'm so
Well,
happy
they
you're here to hunt slugs.
They didn't see me. I was hiding.
Actually, I have the master slug hunting Orbor from Erebor right here.
Why are you so tiny?
That's a good
Not
question.
tiny.
Why are you
I am a well-figured dwarf from Erebor. All right. I mean, he hops off the cart, gives a pose. I'm not tiny.
So you're not a human?
Of course not. No, let me look at me.
Well, I'm looking. You tell
Well,
me
what are you?
I'm a human. Can't you tell? And she points to her ears.
Yeah, you got a point. I mean, you don't have a point. All right.
Right. You going to help me look for slugs?
For a moment, but I think you should return home. You're in a very dangerous place.
Why? Orcs are gone.
You look
How
very
many did you see?
I'm sure you look very tasty to orcs too.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're not going to be here. And to answer your question, Mr. Short Thing, I saw a lot.
How many's a lot?
And she thinks for a minute. Probably about 100, 150.
Oh. No big deal. I need to even the score anyway. Let's go have some
100.
slugs. No big deal. He's gonna grab Gorge by like the tusks.
Mm-hmm.
Gorge, this is gonna be real gross. You're gonna hate it. I'm gonna dig with you. No big deal. But you got a nose like no one else. Let's go hunt some slugs.
That was really bad. That was really
No, that
bad.
was amazing.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Keep it in. Keep it in.
Fury, are you looking for slugs with this young girl?
Yes, we're making friends. We're
All right.
making friends. And yes, what do I need to roll?
This is gonna be an explore check for you.
Oh dear God. Okay. He's got to explore.
No
He's got the
way
explore boar
in hell
from
is
Erebor.
Halloweth going to join in with this.
Tanel will. Why not?
Okay, so
She's just gonna hold all the slugs.
The best
fine.
job.
Yeah.
I rolled a 10 and 2 6s.
There is a moment, Beery, when Gorge
What do you smell?
and he starts digging and
Helping
you
him dig.
find this trove of like 3 or 4 slugs just underneath the earth, all wiggling and gross. And the little girl comes up to you and she goes, "Oh, you've got a magic ball. You're like
I
a
do.
wizard. You're like a wizard or something."
Like a metal wizard. Yes, and he just tosses her one of them and then just continues to dig with boar.
Oh, great. And she hands the other slug to you, Tanel. Thank you.
Yep.
And you spend the next few minutes or so fishing up a bunch of slugs, and eventually you find a few. Thank you so much. These are going to be great for catching them fish.
Yes. Do you have a bag to put these in?
No, I usually just hold them in my hands. And she reaches out to you to
All right.
hand her the bunch of slugs.
Great.
Oh, kids are
Thank
the
you.
worst.
Who's at home? I mean, you have
Yes.
family, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I'm with me mum.
How far is she? I mean, we're heading south, correct, guys? Right?
We're heading
Yes.
southeast, yeah.
What's a pit stop? We could ask for information.
I think it's worth it. And Tanel looks at Halloweth and says, "Remember what I said about scorched earth?"
Fine.
Thank you.
Mummy says I'm not allowed to bring strangers home.
Oh,
But-
well, that decides him.
But you guys seem
Well-
fun and you've got a magic ball, so come on.
Obviously, we're not friends, of course. Yeah, let's go.
What's your name?
I'm Beery.
Barry. And what's his
Yeah.
name? Pointing to the boar.
That, my friend, is Gorge, the old boy from Erebor.
Gorge, the Orbor from Erebor. That's a fun name.
It is. It is.
How about you two?
I'm Tanel.
Tanel. Pleasure to meet you. And you, Mr. Moody Boy?
Halloweth.
Hello. Broken the DM. Little girl looks at you, slugs in hand. Halloweth. Well, Mum should be getting dinner on soon. Come on,
Well,
let's go.
What's your name, darling?
Oh, I'm Alma. Pleasure to meet you. Come on, let's go. And she scampers away on foot towards the south. And you all spend the next hour or so following this young, probably like 10, 12-year-old girl
Sounds-
just
Traveled an hour.
The
scampering
worst
around.
age.
And
Oh my
eventually
God.
you come into a huge grove of really thick forests that even the horses have some trouble sort of wandering through. And she's like, come on, home is just this way, until you come to a very small homestead where there's this small clearing within the forest, but very much like made, like created. This wasn't a natural field where like trees don't grow. Like they chopped the trees down. And she cries out, mommy, come on, I've got friends. And oh, go ahead.
Is it a single home or is it?
It just kind of looks like a small little like Radagast style from the Hobbit movies.
Gotcha.
Hut
Okay.
hovel. And as soon as you all appear, Alma cries out, mommy, come see, I've got slugs and I've got friends.
She
And
brought
about
strangers home.
10 seconds later, you see a huge, muscular woman with bow drawn, pointed at the three of you.
Hello. Hey, how are you? My name is Barry. These are my friends. We helped your daughter catch slugs.
Walk away right now.
Gladly.
You
Let's
never
go,
saw
Chris.
us.
We're here to defeat all the orcs that worked their way through.
Oh, yeah, you're going to defeat all of them, cross the bridge and defeat them by your threesome self, yeah?
You watch me, yeah.
She has a point.
We wanted to make sure you were all right.
We very much care for the hell, I already know what I'm talking about. The sweet things in the world. And I'm assuming your daughter is one of them. Want to make sure she came home safe.
Kind of lowers the bow just ever so slightly.
I've got a bow.
Yes, I can see that. Are you a dwarf?
Aye.
And you two? What's your business?
We're elves of Lorien.
The
Traveling.
forest in the south?
Yes. Have you heard any word of it?
No, but we try not to find too much news of the world. What are you doing here in this forest?
Can I tell if she's withholding something?
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
an
that-
insight check.
That
insight
felt a
check.
little. That
Make
felt
an
a little
insight check.
whisper.
I'm going to do that as well.
Yeah, make an insight check if you want to know.
Same thing. Oh, never mind.
Sugar. One below my target number.
Okay.
I have Sauron. She's golden.
Oh.
Yeah. Hard to read this woman. It almost seems like she's just trying to protect her daughter at this point. And she's still holding up the bow and goes, right then, thank you for getting my daughter home. Be on your way.
Can I ask you just one more question, and then I promise we'll be on our way?
You mind if I keep my bow pointed at you, Miss Elf?
That's perfectly fine.
Right.
We're looking for a man of the woods as well. A wizard. Do you know of him?
Do you mean that crazy old druid across the river?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you
What's-
seen him lately?
No, but I don't go looking and he don't come looking for me.
That's fine. Can you just point us in his direction? It's important.
She holds on for a moment and releases the tension from the bow
Mhm.
and points northeast and goes, he's across the river in his house.
Is there any crossings, like a bridge of some sort that we can reach?
You'd have to go north over that bridge and then many miles north and then that bridge. But you're a few days travel from that. You'd need a boat, which I don't have. So don't get any ideas. And she raises the bow again.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
We're not going to steal a boat from this woman. Or we
Beery.
are.
We
Beery.
might. Mhm.
Hard to tell, Beery, if she's actually got the boat or not.
Listen, we're travelers, we're do-gooders, we're trying to save the friggin' world. I could sharpen some implements, scissors, axes. I can sharpen them, improve them. We just need information to try and save this lot.
This lot has already been saved. We keep to our own. Good day to you.
Okay, this won't do. You can keep to yourselves as much as you like. The shadow will still touch every corners of this earth. Unless you help us, eventually you'll be consumed, no matter where you hide. I don't mean to be a downer. That's the war we're fighting right now. Please, if you have any information which you're withholding, it would be most appreciated.
Make a persuasion check for me, Halloweth.
Come on, Hal.
Come on,
Let's
come
do
on.
this.
Persuade. Let's see how this goes, shall we? I'll roll one-handed. Not even close.
Can I spend a fellowship point
I'm one away.
to help him?
Yeah, there we go.
1 point away.
Usually, you'd have to
That's
call it beforehand, but
yeah.
I didn't realize how that works.
because you were thinking about it beforehand, I saw your face. I will allow you, Halloweth, to roll an extra d6 and use that fellowship point. Please remove 1 fellowship point from the pool that the 3 of you currently have.
Yeah, I got it easily.
Okay, great.
It worked.
Now, Halloweth, you looking left and right at Beery and Tanel, feel a sense of, I need to convince this woman to tell me what she knows. And you pour your heart out into this not speech, but this plea.
Mm.
And she kind of lowers the bow a little bit more and goes, the trees are exploding in Lorien. There's loud bangs, and I've had a few elves pass this way. Apparently the trees are exploding. That's all I know.
Beery's instantly just instinctually looking at Tanel and then Halloweth, just seeing how they react, because I know this has got to be terrible for them.
The color has left Tanel's face.
Yeah, Halloweth's just quiet. Thank you. Now we'll be on our way.
As you say this, the little girl, Alma, goes, Mommy, I want him to stay for dinner. He's got a magic ball. And she is holding the bow still and goes, they'll be on their way. They can't stay. They've got to go back. And glances up at the 2 elves. They've got to go back home, don't they?
Yes.
Indeed we do. Mm-hmm.
There's a brief pause where she looks like she's trying to make a decision. And very quickly, she unknocks the bow. And as fast as she can say, goes, what's happened out there? Something bad. I answered your question. Now you answer mine.
Tanel kind of looks at the little girl and then looks back at the mother and says, can she go inside?
Alma, go. And the little girl goes inside. How bad is it?
There's a war.
There's always been a war.
Yes, but everywhere now. With more power, with more orcs, with more destruction. Indiscriminate.
It's always been indiscriminate. That's why I'm here.
Evil incarnate has been intercepted by...
Oh, save me your flowery language, elf boy. What's happened?
The ring is in Mordor.
The what?
A powerful item is in Mordor.
Oh, a powerful item. That's very well and good. There's lots of powerful items, lass.
This one will bring the downfall of the world as you know it in the hands of the wrong people or bird.
Say again? Bird?
Do you know of Gwaihir, the Wind Lord?
No.
He's a giant demigod bird, giant eagle. Great and powerful. can bring about the end of the world should he choose to do so. He is
And
amassing an army.
And he's got this magical item.
Yes,
Evil incarnate, yes.
it's exploding the trees after all. And there's this sort of disassociation happening.
She kind of takes a moment processing what you just told her. All right, then. Well, we'll be safe here. Thank you for the information. I'll set more traps.
Begging your pardon, ma'am, but it will reach you here. Traps. Do you know of the wizards?
I know of a crazy druid who lives across the way.
Okay. Oh boy. These beings are thousands of years old, older than elves, older than anything you could possibly know. And it has destroyed our homeland. It is wreaking havoc through Middle-earth. It will touch every blade of grass, every leaf on a tree, every insect, animal, and creature.
So what do I do? You just want me to leave?
Help those who pass through here. Give them information. Elves, men who are joining the cause, dwarfs, anybody that can possibly help. Try and do your part.
Nobody passes through here. You're here because of my idiot daughter.
What about the elves that you said passed through?
What of it?
I'm just saying to lend a hand. I don't expect you to go to war. I just expect you to help with the effort and be aware.
And what have those elves done for me, eh? When I needed medicine?
Alois, let's leave.
Listen to your missus,
Presumptuous. Very well. Enjoy your solitude.
Thank you. I shall continue to do so.
Just remember that we tried. And Tanel just turns and leaves.
Fury.
Seeing everybody kind of communicate and is just kind of in the background, following the cue.
All right. The woman who's got her bow lowered turns, goes back in, and as you are turning to leave, she goes, "Thank you for making sure she was safe. Good luck."
Tanel just like briefly looks over her shoulder at her but doesn't say anything and keeps walking.
All right.
On our way out, Beery is very curious about these traps that are set. He wants to learn. Can he scan for these traps?
Go ahead and make a scan check for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also a crit with the 6.
Okay, so you need the 6 with that. You got to hit your target number, and then you got to find a 6. So
Right.
as you are leaving this little homestead, traveling through the forest, after about 2 or 3 minutes, there is a small tripwire that, because you're looking for it, you notice, and you're kind of walking a little bit more slowly to try and keep an eye out. There's a small tripwire, and as you see the tripwire, you look up and you see that there is a huge bag full of rocks that, in this sort of like rope knot tied thing together, would crush at least the 3 of you, if not way more people. This is extensive.
This is a woman from my own heart. I feel like I might be in love.
Don't get your hopes up.
And he's gonna take note of that and maybe replicate it later on.
Okay. Elves, are you doing anything as you're through the forest?
Weeping softly to myself.
Tanel sort of catching on as they're walking. She says, I saw it, Halloweth. I thought it was a nightmare, but I saw. I saw the trees. I know we promised Glorfindel to make sure that Radagast was all right, but we'll be going back north. It'll take us days to get home.
Mirkwood seems safe enough. Just we have immediate pressures to attend
I
to.
agree.
The three of you traveling through the forest, heading south. You're gonna probably come out of the forest, and there is another little offshoot of the river that you'll need to sort of go around, but you spend the rest of the day going past that portion. It's a little bit mucky, a little bit tough to get through, but the horses can do it. You're just going to go a little bit slower, and you will be bedding down for the evening. I will ask which one of you is going to take the first watch, and we will spend our rolls checking through the evening.
I'll go first.
Perfect.
I'll let. I don't think Barry's gone first yet. We'll go Barry first.
Okay. let's do.
Being voluntold that you're doing it.
I was actually, Tanel was gonna ask Barry if he could go first.
You look like you're processing quite a bit. How about I take first watch?
Yes,
What a good
thank you.
idea.
Yeah. What is our terrain like? What is our camp like tonight?
The mountain is at your back, and ahead of you is, you hear the river off to your east, the mountains to your back in the west, and as you're heading south, right, you know that you're eventually going to hit Lorien and the Silver Lode River, and there's a sense that you are getting relatively close to where you need to be.
Okay. And what was left of the day, how far kind of are we from the homestead that we found with the mother and daughter?
You spend a good couple of hours. You came out of the forest. You're kind of in like the plains that aren't really, they don't have a pass through them, but they're just like the place below the mountains.
But it is still muddy. You mentioned there's still some muddy spots.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
roughly, it's pretty muddy there. Yeah.
He's gonna spend his watch whittling with one of his like craft knives, whittling a little wooden boar. And just in case she wanders this far, he's gonna maybe place it somewhere. But that's what he's doing on his watch.
Okay. You know what? I'll give you the idea because I've done this myself in the past. You take a couple of stones and just pile them one on top of another, and you leave the little boar on top of it so that anybody who is wandering through will be able to pick it up. And go ahead and give me what was it? It was a scan check for that?
For watch?
For watch,
Yeah.
Scan check. So go ahead and give me a scan check.
You got it. So just whittling, just in case, she might find it one day.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled but it's not good. I failed my target number. He's very busy whittling.
All right. Beery, you take your watch. Nothing really seems to catch your eye.
After he whittles, he very gingerly goes out into the mud away from camp, stacks the rocks and places the little magical boar on top of it. Maybe one day, years from now, she might find it. Comes back and feels very proud of himself, and he's gonna wake up Halloweth. Give
All right.
His shoulder a little jostle.
Hi. Cool. All right.
Moaning, it's your turn.
Alrighty.
Completely clear. I am 100% confident nothing's amiss.
Glad to hear it. I am thrilled.
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong. Nothing.
Thank you, Justin. All right. So, Beery, you bed down for the night. Halloweth, you are going to take the watch. Make a scan check for me.
Alrighty. I beat my target number.
Lovely. All right. As you are looking around, nothing really seems all that amiss, but you do notice that Beery starts moving in his sleep a little bit. And Beery, we're going to come to you for a minute because as you
Good luck.
bed down.
I thought this was an elf thing.
Finally.
Dang it.
Finally.
Ah! All right.
Beery, as you snuggle up against Gorge, snoring deeply, you think back to the time that Alatar put his hand on your head and you saw your mom and dad, and you saw yourself as a baby dwarf. And you smile to yourself as you fall asleep thinking about that memory. And as you drift off into this dreamlike trance, you hear a clang, clang, clang. And your vision becomes clear, and you watch your father working at his forge. And he's just going at it, and you start to notice what he's making, and it's a tiny little metal shape. You can't quite tell what it is, but it is something. And then there's another dwarf that comes in and claps him on the back, gives him that firm, dwarf handshake. And they're laughing. They're just having a great time. They seem like they're friends. And everything sort of shifts, and you see your father in Erebor, kind of at a stand or a stall of some kind with his own wares, trying to see if he can attract people, sort of handing them out to folks, but no one's really seemingly interested in what he's selling. And you watch as his face kind of falls a little bit defeated. That same friend comes up, and it's this dwarf that is big, real strong, and claps him on the shoulder again. They start talking again. And at this point, the dream, which has been silent up until this point, minus the little clangings of the forge, you hear the whispers of the word as the dwarf friend mouths the word Moria. And whew, the dream fades. Halloweth, you waking up to know?
Yep.
The chills.
Yep. Yep, we're gonna wake up to Nell.
All right, Tanel, go ahead and make a scan check for me.
I beat my target number by 1. I rolled a 12.
All right. Tanel, you also notice that Beery is having these really nice dreams. But you also notice something else.
Shit.
You do notice that Halloweth starts jostling back and forth, which is uncommon for elves.
Oh, for God's sake.
Halloweth, I need you to make an awareness check for me.
Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, I beat my target number by 1.
Halloweth.
Oh, actually, sorry, I hit it exactly.
Okay, perfect. All right. Halloweth, you find yourself back in the dream you had the night before, following Bilbo.
Oh. Okay.
And you watch Bilbo pace around for a bit, and the dream shifts, and you're in Lothlorien. And it seems familiar because there are people cheering for you. And there's Galadriel to your left, and she is very politely applauding as well. And it shifts back to Lothlorien, and you find yourself as part of the dream. Make a stealth check for me.
Yeah, I beat it easily.
Halloweth, you unable to control your body, see yourself walk into a room with a small bed and a small hobbit inside. And you approach the bed and approach the sleeping hobbit.
Okay.
Tori, Max, please exit the Zoom call. I will text you when you can come back in.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right,
Can I just walk away?
You've got the headphones on. Put them off.
All right, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. Okay, bye.
Take your
Text me.
phone. Take your phone. Take your phone. Halloweth.
Well, this is okay. Unusual. Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yes.
In an almost dreamlike state, a sleepwalking state, you find yourself peering over this bed, and you see yourself coming in through the doorway, another version of you.
Do I look older or younger in any way?
You look the same age.
Okay. All right.
And you watch as this other version of you bends down towards the hobbit to check if Bilbo is sleeping, scans around the room, and finds a bag.
Oh no. Yeah.
You watch as this other version of you picks up the bag, looks inside, and the dream shifts to total blackness.
Do I recognize the bag?
You do recognize the bag.
Okay. Okay. Oh boy.
Okay. I'm going to call Tori and Max to come back in. Would you like to make it? Would you like to make any questioning observations as this happens?
No, I think I know what's going on. So.
All right.
Oh, you do you?
Yeah.
Halloweth.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, fine. I'm just fantastic.
Halloweth, there is a voice in the back of your head that seems to be whispering to you.
I'm good. Love whispering voices in my head.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session of the Unpredicted Party.
Oh my god!
Oh boy.
Done. Copper can't take it.
I imagine our YouTube audience can't either. Thank you all so much for joining us for the Unpredicted Party. Join us in 2 weeks for the next session. Join us on Patreon for the Unpredicted After Party as we continue to quiz these nerds about what happened as we discuss Marvin the Troll, Alma the Slug Human, boulders, various nightmares and dreams, and so much more.
What did he see? What did he see?
What did you
Tori?
see?
Oh!
Goodbye.
Oh.